Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. This Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit in and for Miami-Dade County is now in session. The Honorable Judge Nucius Savior presiding. All persons having business before this court, come nigh and you shall be heard. God save the United States of America and this honorable court.
Thank you, Lair. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Family, friends, honored guests, everyone in the overflow rooms and out there on our YouTube land. Please welcome us to the, welcome all of you to the investiture of the Honorable Julie Harris Nelson as County Court Judge of the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida. Please remain standing as we ask a very special guest to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Nathan Sanders Jr., Judge Harris Nelson's nephew. Oh boy, this is going to be cute.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
We should probably all just leave now because that's going to be the toughest act to follow ever. Well done, Nathan. Now, as we continue to remain standing, I would like to welcome someone who really needs no introduction, our very own colleague, Circuit Judge and Administrative Judge of the Juvenile Division, Judge Orlando Prescott, for the invocation.
Good afternoon. An invocation prayer is a prayer to welcome the great I Am into our presence and to ask for his support and guidance for the occasion that brings us here today. So with that in mind, I ask you to join me. We come with bowed heads and humble hearts, seeking your guidance and direction. We recognize, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. It is in recognition of this enormous responsibility that we ask not for riches or fame, but just like Solomon, we ask for wisdom. As judges, we desire not to see titles or positions, but to see a person and to be fair and just. We seek your spirit of discernment. We seek to be able to see right from wrong and to separate the just from the unjust. As practitioners of the law, we ask to be able to zealously defend those in need of defense, to speak with clarity for those who have no voice, to have foresight and insight for those who have lost their vision, to protect those who are exploited and abused. We ask that your twins, grace and mercy, rain down on us and soak us through and through. We ask that you guide and bless us as we stand before those we serve. We stand upright, without shame, and above reproach. We ask this and all blessings in the marvelous and matchless name of the great I Am. Amen.
Amen. Everyone, please be seated. Lucky me that I get to follow Nathan and Judge Prescott. On this very special day, we have some very special guests who have joined us. Please stand as I call your name and so you can be recognized, and I will ask in vain that y'all hold your applause until the end, but I know you won't, so go right ahead. From the City of Miami, City Attorney Vicky Mendez, who was here with us live yesterday, but I believe she's virtually with us today. Judge Kimberly Best, who we're very honored to be hosting from North Carolina. She's one of Judge Harris Nelson's college friends. And I want all of those of you, the judges in particular who work in REG, to know, I don't think she was just being nice. She said that our courthouse is really beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, huh? But it sounded very genuine to me. I don't know Judge Best, but it sounded very genuine. Our former colleague, and from the county court and from the circuit court, now a federal U.S. District Judge, Judge Rodney Smith. Retired judge and former administrative judge of the County Civil Division, Taretha Lundy Thomas. She's with us virtually. Andrew Moss, president-elect of ABOTA, the American Board of Child Advocates. There he is. Jane Muir, past president, Miami-Dade Bar. Kristen Drektrab Paz, president of the Florida Association of Women Lawyers, Miami-Dade chapter. There she is. Kevin Hellman, president of FACDL, Miami chapter. There he is. Mr. Eugene Pettis, past president of the Florida Bar. Eric Bluestein, president of the Miami-Dade Trial Lawyers Association. There he is. And Travis Randolph, he's going to be here with us virtually. President, like forever. I don't know how many times Travis has been president. He was president, then he wasn't, then he's been president. I think he's just a perpetual termless president of the Wilkie D. Ferguson Jr. Bar Association. Greetings, Travis. Richard Cooper, executive director of Miami-Dade County League of Cities. I think he's with us virtually. Stedman Stahl, president of Miami-Dade Police Benevolent Association. I think he's also with us virtually. Also here we have members of our greater court family. Carlos Martinez, our public defender. And on behalf of our state attorney, Catherine Fernandez-Rundle, we have Chief Assistant Daisy Hernandez. On behalf of Gene Zenobi, our regional counsel, we have Alex Sola. And on behalf of Harvey Rubin, our clerk of courts, we have Louis Montaldo, general counsel. And last, but certainly not least, supporting our day-to-day court operations with their expertise and wisdom. The judiciary is nothing without them. Sandy Garcia, our deputy trial court administrator. Our incredible AV team who've enabled us to be able to live stream our investitures since the pandemic, since September. And they've been going very well. And they're actually, for all of you out there who want to see what it was like after, you can go to the YouTube channel and watch the whole thing again. And Eunice Sigler, our public information officer, Marissa Gavick, our deputy public information officer, who are like the wedding coordinators and cruise directors of this day. They make this possible for all of our judges, so thank you. If there was anyone that I forgot, please let me know, and I will be able to announce them as the program proceeds. Now for remarks on behalf of the Florida Bar, we have past president, already introduced, and esteemed attorney. Please welcome Mr. Eugene Pettis.
Good afternoon. It's always odd with the investitures because the special guest is behind me. So Chief Judge Safey, the Honorable Julie Harris Nelson, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this special day for you. It's been long in coming. It was about 2 years ago that you were nominated by Judge DeSantis to be one of the judges on what was really a historic day. 3 African-American females being appointed to the bench at one time. And even though this day is about 2 years delayed, she got right in. From everything I hear, you got busy with the work of the court. So That's great. So many people refer to the county court as the people's court. It's the gateway, it's the entry for so many individuals that don't know their way around our judicial system. It's a special person, a special judge that can be in that position, deal with so many pro se individuals and so many small issues that are large in the lives of our fellow citizens. And it's important to have people at that point that reflect our community. Not just by gender or race, those things are very important, but also by their commitment to what's good about Miami-Dade County. And you don't have to look very far to see Judge Nelson's commitment to Miami-Dade County. You have been involved and president of so many things, you know, from Jack and Jill of America president, you know, just you look at the roots. Legal aid, you recognized so many times for legal aid. And it's very important that when people come to you, you bring that compassion and passion for doing what's right and lifting people up as they go through the trials and tribulations that sometimes we see in our court system. You've been recognized for a not-for-profit pro bono award. You've been recognized twice in 2019 as well as 2017 by the Dade Legal Aid. Put something back, give something to others that are less fortunate than we are. And ever since you have graduated law school from St. Thomas, you've been heavily engaged in a lot of youth activities, reading with Judge Julie, and so many other ways that you don't recognize the model that you're creating for other little girls to look at you, and boys as well, to think, I can do that. She reflects something about me, and I can do that. So it's very important that you give that type of time to our community. You've obviously been involved in the state level fall, as well as the local fall, Gwen Cherry, Black Women's Law Association, and I can't leave out Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, which is prominently displayed in your chambers. But in closing, as many affectionately call you, Judge Julie, your impact on this court, I'm excited to observe your career. This is just the beginning. You're going to have an impact with your passion, with your professionalism, and with your heart. And all of those things are very important. God bless you, and may he bless the court during your tenure. At this point in time, I would like to call another fine lawyer to the podium, Mr. Nelson Boleto. Nelson is the chair of the Miami-Dade Commission's Ethics Committee. He served Miami-Dade County in so many ways. He's an excellent lawyer, good friend, and a partner at the ROG Lawyers firm here, in an excellent firm here in Miami-Dade. So, Nelson.
Thank you, Eugene. I'm going to purchase you so you can go out and introduce me wherever I go. That's wonderful. Thank you. May it please the court, may it please your honors, and the Honorable Julie Nelson. It is such an honor to be here and to speak on your behalf, and I'm going to be brief. When I think of Julie, one word comes to mind, and I'm sure many of you can guess what that is. Perseverance. Perseverance, as defined, is persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. And Judge Nelson is the epitome of perseverance. I've known Julie since the early 1990s. My partner, Michael Rosenberg, when there was a comment about this beautiful courthouse, said, I don't know about that. This courthouse hasn't changed since we served as prosecutors. It needs a makeover, as we know. We served under the Honorable Janet Reno and then Kathy Fernandez-Rundle. Thank you, Daisy, for being here on her behalf, my former boss. We were reunited in 2014 at Roig Lawyers. Roig. That was good, that was close. And it was there where I got to know Julie even better, because Julie's office was right next to mine. Julie, shortly after I was there, told me that she wanted to become a judge. This was back in 2014. Who would have known that it would have taken a few times for her to get on the bench? But all good things come to those who wait, right? So, time and time again, Julie would come into my office and sometimes shed a tear. And I remember that distinctly because I remember that even in the end, she always said, I'm going to do it again. And quite honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that's something that I think very few of us would have done. I don't know about you, but I hate rejection. Right, DJ? You know, sometimes when you get that pass and it doesn't come again because you dropped that first pass and they don't throw it to you, you're like, wait a minute, what happened? I don't know if you were watching CeeDee Lamb last night in the Cowboys game. But anyway, I digress. We can call Judge Nelson insane because, as we know, applying 16, 17 times to become a judge, it takes a lot out of one. There are many of my friends at the state attorney's office and PDs that often have applied and unfortunately have been rejected. And I'm sure some of you applied and were rejected. But in the end, Julie became a finalist about 7 or 8 times. So now you have hope, right, judges? You got hope. My name went up on one of those 3. But unfortunately, time and time again, then Governor Scott did not appoint her. But as Eugene Pitts just said, Governor DeSantis saw the light. Governor DeSantis saw the kind of impact that a lady like Julie Nelson can have on our judiciary and in our community. To reiterate what Eugene Pitts said, it is important that when you come before a judge that they look like you sometimes. And the great Orlando Prescott said that many years, I remember, at an investiture. It's so important when these, oftentimes children, young men, young women, but mostly men, unfortunately, come before a judge and they want some of that compassion. And sometimes if they look like you, it makes that so much more real. And that's what Julie not only brings because of the color of her skin, but because of the compassion and the heart that she has shown all of us. Many of us would call her insane for that perseverance, for that applying time and time again and getting rejected. I say to you, Your Honor, you are a model for all of us here as judges. You are a role model for the children that come before you, especially for that beautiful family of children that you have there. We honor you today. We congratulate you. On behalf of my partners at Roy Lawyers, Fernando Roy couldn't be here, but Michael Rosenberg, our managing partners here, we honor you today, and we are just so happy that we supported you and you made it. Congratulations.
I got a runner, Lair. Okay, come on back, Judge Harris Nelson. So, not just because she's laughing at my joke, but I do have to make some more introductions. Kashasha Sharp, past president of the Gwen S. Cherry Black Women Lawyers Association, and current president of the Gwen Cherry Black Women Lawyers Association, and actually one of our AOC lawyers is Nakia Ruffin, who's sitting there also. And one more special shout out is to an incredible attorney, and I don't have his resume here, it would take up a book, but Bob Josephsberg's here also. So we have another speaker here. She's already been introduced. Again, a wonderful attorney and friend of the courts and past president of the Miami-Dade Bar Association, Jane Muir.
May it please the court, judges, friends, family. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. This Japanese proverb urges us to persevere in the face of challenges. Judge Julie Harris Nelson lives this advice. When Judge Julie Harris Nelson first began to consider joining the bench, she had doubts. But her mother, Monica Kegler Sanders, had no doubt. You're going to get it. Based on yourself, she said. After working under Catherine Fernandez Rundle in her inaugural year as state attorney, Judge Harris Nelson's career in civil practice led her to Roig Lawyers. During their very first conversation, Julie shared with Fernando Roig that she had the ambition to become a judge. Fernando knew about the process, having served on the JNC in Broward County, and he said, if that's what you want to do and you put your name in, you have to stick with it. And Julie promised she would never give up. Julie's mother, Monica, passed away in June of 2012, but the memory of her encouragement remained. Julie applied for the first time in August of 2012 for appointment to the bench. Then her brother, Bill DeRusso, passed away in September of 2012. The same week, Julie had an interview with the Judicial Nominating Commission. Even though she was offered the opportunity to reschedule her interview, she went forward and wrote the eulogy at the same time as she was writing her points for her interview. The JNC recommended Julie to the governor that time, but she was not selected. It was Betty Capote who received the appointment to the bench that time. Undeterred, Julie reapplied and reapplied and reapplied. She reapplied for every vacancy over 7 years and was recommended to the governor a dozen times, but not chosen. Even so, she kept applying, and she poured her heart into service. For her work, she was rewarded with leadership roles over and over again. In our own Miami-Dade County Bar Association, she became a board member and a member of the executive committee. She was vice president of the Gwyneth Cherry Black Women Lawyers Association. In Miami Bridge, she was a board member. In Jack and Jill, she was president. In the Florida Association for Women Lawyers, she was statewide treasurer and the newsletter editor. Relentless, she had fresh news to share every time she saw the JNC or the general counsel. She kept her promise and never gave up. She set an example for her family, for her friends, and for all of us of service, of resilience, of faith, and of perseverance. On her 16th attempt, after filing to run for the position, Governor Ron DeSantis selected Julie Harris Nelson to be a judge. Finally. And even though many of her fellow judges were at one time competitors for the position, they have become her colleagues. Betty Capote helped train and prepare Judge Julie Harris Nelson to preside in county court. The difficulties that she experienced taught her patience, which she exercises every day when dealing with litigants who may be scared, uncertain, and upset. She demonstrates a kind and calm demeanor, but tolerates no disrespect of anyone in her courtroom. We all know that we can trust she will be a great jurist, will make well-reasoned decisions, and will serve from the heart. As Rocky Balboa said, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it is not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. On behalf of the 19,000 attorneys of the 11th Judicial Circuit and the Miami-Dade County Bar Association, we present you with these silver boxing gloves. So that you'll always remember to keep moving forward and keep winning, along with a ceremonial copy of the United States Constitution. We welcome the Honorable Julie Harris Nelson to the bench. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. We have some plaques here commemorating the special day for Judge Harris Nelson from the Conference of County Court Judges, your much awaited, almost 2 years awaited county court desk plate. Now you got something to put on your desk, and a beautiful plaque here from the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. And now for personal remarks on behalf of the judge's family and friends, we have Karen Josephsberg Lattis, Queen of Dade Legal Aid, Put Something Back, and Miami Law Royalty. Thank you so much, Karen, for being here.
Thank you very much. May it please the court, honored guests, family, friends, Wolverine Nation. I even brought some props today. I've been privileged and honored to know Julie personally for over 20 years. She's an incredible mother, wife, and friend. We both attended the University of Michigan and Ann Arbor, and our kids went there too. I think our grandmothers also live very close to each other in Detroit. Our families have shared so many bonds together and have celebrated numerous occasions. In fact, my parents, Bob and Marlene Josephsberg, were at the hospital when your kids were born. In addition to our shared love for the Wolverines and Dartmouth, we share our passion for pro bono work to improve and uplift the lives of others. When you were a partner at the Roy Law Firm, as everyone heard, you won not one, but 2 pro bono awards. One was for your firm's 46 pro bono matters. And for that, I know that you were a large part of that. And on behalf of all the children, families, and nonprofit groups that you and your firm served, we thank you. She also received an individual award a couple of years later for her personal accomplishments in many causes that you heard about today. The Miami Bridge, Youth and Family Services, Jack and Jill of America, handling food preparation, donations, and coordinating events with me for a lot of holidays and on special occasions for underprivileged children, victims of domestic violence, foster youth, reading to underserved children, doing multiple career days, and of course, representing clients from Put Something Back Pro Bono Project. As a judge, Judge Julie continues reading with her Judge Julie series. She's really incredible. I don't know how she finds time to do all of this. She held a mock trial last month with first and second graders, and they were in awe of the justice system. As you heard from the other speakers, she's truly making a difference, making her mark, and impacting the lives of so many people in our community. Her commitment to community service is one of the many reasons why she is a great judge and will continue to be an incredible judge in the many years to come. She's a role model for our youth and for the legal community and for me personally. You heard also about all the roles that she's had. I got to work with her at the Dade County, Miami-Dade Bar when she was there, and we had so many incredible times together. She immediately joined the executive board. Like the Wolverines, Judge Julie is a leader and the best. She's determined, dedicated, hardworking, and always does good. I know you will continue to do many great things, my friend. I have a little something for, another bumper sticker, of course, and, of course, a Michigan Wolverine. And on behalf of my family and legal aid and the countless clients whose lives you've impacted, we want to say thank you and go blue.
And now for further personal remarks on behalf of the judge's family and friends, we have Don McClary, an attorney and a close friend of Judge Harris Nelson.
You guys are an intimidating room, especially this section. Good afternoon. I'm here on behalf of Judge Nelson's family and friends, or should I say family and family. And those of you who count yourselves as her friends know exactly, understand exactly what I'm saying. I want to share some remarks on behalf of Julie's parents, Monica Sanders, who has made her heavenly transition, and Dr. Joseph John Harris III, who is unable to attend this ceremony today. But Big Nate is here. That's Julie's bonus father. And Julie won the lottery with that one. Although Julie's parents may not physically be present, this room is filled with their loving energy and exuberant spirit. Because this investiture represents the culmination of their parental hopes and dreams, their shared legacy. Good people find one another. Julie and I met at the University of Michigan. I can still remember that wide, welcoming smile as across a sea of freshmen that were sizing each other's up by the mere flick of an eye. So, we became friendly acquaintances that summer day, and our bond grew as we joined Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Eta chapter at the same time. Alpha Kappa Alpha is an organization founded on the simple principle to be in supreme service to all mankind. As our friendship grew, we learned that we were raised by Detroit educators who impressed upon us a sense of responsibility and encouraged us to represent our views. We spoke up often and loudly. Sometimes we'd merge our voices to represent a very strong and passionate opinions about what was going on around us. In fact, it was our shared sense of justice that spurred us in a midnight car ride deep into Ohio State territory to advocate for a group of individuals that we felt were on the precipice to being treated unfairly. We were successful. It's no wonder that we both became attorneys. My path took me to New York City, but I visited Julie often here. And it was always the same, whether I was perched in her office while she was preparing for trial, reading an article she just wrote for the Florida Association for Women Lawyers, sitting on the sidelines of football practices and dance rehearsals, attending the Gwyneth Cherry Black Women's Association Scholarship Fundraiser, or even connecting with her in Orlando at a Federalist convention. Remember that? This working mom always seemed to deftly manage a myriad of responsibilities with aplomb. Florida Bar Committee member, Dade County Bar Association Executive Board, or chapter president of Jack and Jill, Julie continued to stay involved in professional and civic activities to support the community that she lived in. I was in awe. It reminded me I could do more. I would fly back to New York City and I'm like, oh, let me take an office or let me join a committee. But isn't that what your friends are supposed to do? Aren't they supposed to motivate you? Nipsey Hussle, the late great hip hop artist and poet, once said it better than I can. If you look at your circle of friends and you are not inspired, then it's not a circle, it's a cage. Julie, you do inspire. Now I think I gotta go and be a judge now. In closing, Julie's sense of civic responsibility, coupled with measured judgment, equips her to meet the ever-increasing demands of her professional role. Her authenticity and confident manner are a winning combination that fully complements a balanced blend of strong leadership and personal compassion. These impressive attributes, combined with her ethics, effectively render Judge Julie Harris Nelson, as one of the best qualified representatives of the legal community and caretaker of the profession. The citizens of Miami-Dade County are very, very fortunate, and all you future leaders out there need to pay attention. Julie, your mother and father are so proud. Thank you, and go Blue.
Well done. And now for the oath of office and robing, I would like to ask Judge Rodney Smith, who's already been introduced, to please come up to the podium, along with our own Circuit Judge, Tanya Brinkley, and our visiting judge from North Carolina, District Judge Kimberly Best. Joining Judge Harris Nelson will be her family. We've already met Nathan Sanders Jr. Come on back down, Nathan Jr. Patrick Nelson, Judge Harris Nelson's husband. Julian Terry and DJ Terry Jr., sons. You guys ready? Come on. Candace Terry. I don't know about you guys, but Candace looks like fun. She's been having a good time there. So Candace, show your brothers how it's done. Lee DeRusso, Nathan Sanders, her brothers, and Tesha DeRusso, her sister-in-law. Tia and Vonnie Sanders, sisters. Nathan Sanders, her bonus father. I love that. And Dr. Joseph John Harris, her father, is with us via live stream.
All right. Okay, if you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Julie Harris Nelson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and government
and government
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am qualified to hold office
that I am qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state of Florida,
under the Constitution of the state of Florida,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of judge
the duties of judge
of the county court
of the county court
of the 11th Judicial Circuit
of the 11th Judicial Circuit
of the state of Florida,
of the state of Florida,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am about to now enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
For the non-judges out there, this is always the thing, like, do you get the buttons? Do you get the zipper? Do you get the hooks?
Love you. I'm going to cry.
Everyone please be seated. I am where I am because God has blessed me with a spectacular village. The people sitting inside and outside this courtroom and all across these United States, especially at 3390 Pepper Hill Road, Lexington, Kentucky, have in some way contributed to this long awaited journey. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Unbeknownst to me, my pathway to the bench began when I was about 3 years old. If you don't believe me, ask any of my aunts and uncles. I was quite the precocious niece, and admittedly, maybe just a little hardhead at times. You see, I'm known for touching the fancy dining room table located at 134 Arden Park in Detroit, Michigan, which was always set. And when told not to, I was always making sure there was a place for me at the table. My grandmothers, Anne and Octavia, designed the quilt work that has designed my character. My grandfathers were the stitching that always held our family together, making sure that everything appeared seamless. You see, that one quilt was made of integrity, respect, and resilience, and helped my grandparents build a legacy of greatness by weaving in tight the importance of education and service to the community. My great-grandparents, who I remember, sacrificed for my grandparents. My grandparents sacrificed for my parents. My parents sacrificed for me, and I sacrifice for my children. Simply put, no one can take away your knowledge acquired through educational opportunities, nor the character acquired from your faithful works in the community. Blessed Sacrament Cathedral's Father Don and Father Robinson and Father Gaynor, cushioned with St. Cecilia Grade School educators, Sister Faye, Sister Beth, Sister Margaret, Sister Mary, Miss Butcher, Miss Oliver, and Coach Carl Temple, I must thank for setting up that table over the years. My parents definitely knew these educators would help shape my character. However, when Mother chose for me to pull me out of my little bubble and send me to this high school that they called Cass Tech, I questioned her rationale and her authority. But as they say, Mother knows best. Mrs. Imlock and Mrs. Gatlin and Mrs. Wiley and Coach Dolores Ellswick, thank you for your guidance, instruction, and helping me establish my voice. You will always be Detroit's best. If you don't know by now, I bleed maize and blue. And after this past weekend's football game,
I think everyone bleeds a little maize and blue. Everyone, you've had to have known that that was coming. So I send that specially out to Judge Patty Pedrosa. My alma mater is so dear to me, not just because of the education, but because of the bonds created. You see, relationships continue. My relationships established more than 30 years ago continue. Thanks to my forever Go Blue crew, but especially Giovanni Flowers, Donna Ray, and Shantae Smith, and Dr. Story, who brought us together for the first time during the summer of 1985. My undergraduate sorority sisters especially, and I have a lot of them, so forgive me if I don't mention everyone's name, so blame it on my head and not my heart. But especially Denise, Dawn, Pam, Christy, Lois, Pam, Pat, and Tiffany, Rhonda, Leela, Tina, and Zena. You women are simply phenomenal. If I can be half of what you are and do half of what you do, I will be a great judge. I moved to Miami in 1991. My mother actually saved a Detroit newspaper clip, which highlighted somewhat a certain relinquishment of a fancy crown in pursuit of a law school education at St. Thomas University. Mother said she knew that I would not return because there was so much more that I could do for the community in Miami. Admittedly, I had no idea of what she was talking about. However, here I am, and after being taught by some extraordinary scholars, such as Dr. Lively, Dr. Plass, and Dr. Amy Ronner, my vision became clear: continue to learn and serve. Beginning my career as an assistant state attorney and having served as a specially appointed public defender is simply priceless. The skills developed remain with me today, and I thank you. I also thank Carlos and George Silva for giving me my first opportunity in the area of civil practice. But I must acknowledge my Roig family, and I'm just going to call it the originals because the Roig family has just grown so much. Fernando Roig, Michael Rosenberg, Jessica Martin, Jenna Hackman, Abby Carr, Stephen Meller, Mark Rose, Elizabeth Conley, and my absolute fabulous assistants that helped me every day, Zoe and Tarnisha. Our family just grew over the years, and so I am thankful that we consider that I was able to help bring aboard Melody and Marcus and Christine. I thank you so much because you all made my job easier, and it was just a blessing when Nelson came aboard. But let me go back. Thank you, Governor DeSantis. Thank you, Joe Jacko. And thank you to the countless members that served on the JNC, especially Hans Antoinette, Louis Suarez, Bob Pardo, Scott Diamond, Hayden O'Byrne, Marva Wiley. There are just so many people that led and contributed to my success, and that is why I stand before you. There are so many volunteer organizations that if I named every one, we would be here another 15 minutes. But I must acknowledge the Miami-Dade Bar, the Gwinnett Cherry Black Women Lawyers Association, Wilkie D. Ferguson Bar Association, and CABA. And CABA has a special place in my heart because, as you know, this investiture was postponed. But CABA made it possible for me to reflect on history because it has my original investiture date of April 16th, 2020. When I opened that box and saw that welcome gift, my heart was so warmed because this is not what we expected, but we are here today. And those that aren't here today, I thank them and I acknowledge them. I also want to state that the Miami Bridge, thanks Marlene and Dorcas. Thank you to my Jack and Jill family, especially my VPs that make it possible for me to do what I do, Nawa and Davrick. My sorority sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, Alpha Beta Omega, my president Tammy, and my upcoming president Cheryl. Your leadership and tenacity is everything to the community, and I mean it, everything. There are so many people that are sitting in this audience that I want to acknowledge each and every one of you, but know that you are always in my heart, especially Tangela Smith and Angela Taylor. Thank you so much. My sweet, sweet, sweet Tan, you are an amazing friend, mother, neighbor, and of course, wife. Keep shining and sharing words of wisdom. And thank you for keeping me on the judicial path. Judge Darrell, Judge Harris, and Espinoza, who's joining us from afar. And I'm going to adopt Judge Carvetos and Judge Ehekwaba. 12/16/2019 will always be our day. My family, I thank you for the beautiful blend that we are. My darling brothers, Lee and Nathan, our brother and mother surely watches over our every step. And my sisters, Tia, Vonnie, and Nikki, we always blend. That will never, never, never end. It is truly a blessing to call you my sisters, as God truly had a plan. My aunts and uncles, your spirit and dedication to family members warms my heart and pushes me to touch that table. So this is for you. Uncle Raymond, Uncle Buford, Joe, Aunt Margaret, who made it all the way from Tennessee and is a stroke survivor. Margot, Francis, Paula, and Sonia. My stepdad, thank you for caring for me and my brothers from the beginning. Dwayne Terry, thank you for Candace, DJ, and Julian. They are priceless. And they're also one of a kind. Reflections of greatness and tomorrow's leaders they are. Remember always to be kind to each other and there for each other every day. I love you. For my father, no words can express what you mean to me. You will always be the wind beneath my wings. Thank you for demanding me to be all that I can be. And I am so glad that you are able to join me via the internet. You see, my father had heart surgery last week and could not be here, but he is here in spirit and watching online. So as you can see, I am quite the emotional one when I talk about my family and dear friends. Patrick, we have come a long way and have so much more road to travel together. Thank you for coming into my life at the perfect time. I love you. So I close by just saying thank you. And I will acknowledge my mother, who is watching down on us, and who was here in 1995 in courtroom 1-5 with my grandmother, Ann Harris, when I was sworn in by Judge Young and Judge Teresa Thomas. It's been a long time, and I am sure she is just smiling, and preparing a plate, or rather a bowl of gumbo in heaven with my grandmother as she watches down over me. God, thank you for my village. Protect all of us and continue to bless us. Thank you.
Judge Harris Nelson is apologizing for being emotional, but as most of the judges will tell you, it's not a good investiture if we're not crying, so. So it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Miami bench. You literally, I think it was already referenced, my first memory of you is just your smile, and when I think of you, I immediately smile because all I can think of is your smile, and no matter what's going on, you're smiling. And I think that that's, honestly, if there's one characteristic we want in a judge is when people walk in, is to make them feel warm and heard and considered, and your smile does that to everyone around you. So we're so happy to have you among us. Ladies and gentlemen, court is now in recess. If you'd like to greet the judge and her family, please come up and do so over here. And when you're done, you can go outside that back door, and if you're a member of the public, you get to go out the right. And if you're a member of the judiciary, you get to go out left. And with that, court is in recess. Thank you all so much. Given that I have one like her. So I know it's a blessing and a curse, but man, she is adorable. Goodness.
Thank you.